Lane County Sheriff Tom Turner recently sworn in for another term, but he's facing a challenging term at that. Potential budget cuts could seriously impact public safety for so many people. Joining us live in studio, we do have Sheriff Tom Turner. Thanks for waking up early with us. We appreciate it.
Oh, well, thanks very much for asking me.
Yeah, well, we know it's been kind of a rough ride, if you will, in terms of the budget. Just when you think it can't get worse, potentially it could get worse. And I know in your recent Lane County State of the Public Safety Address, you said the jail could go down to 26 local beds. It's a possibility. What's the reality? Could this really happen?
Absolutely. And the difficulty that we're facing is that all of these federal programs, as I mentioned in the press release, they're starting to time out, and they simply aren't going to be replenished. And due to that fact, we have to base our budget on the assumptions that we have to make with that fiscal crisis, and realizing that it's going to put us in a horrible position in 14-15, a little bit worse next year, and then a lot worse the following year.
Okay, so I'm just wondering if you could go back to the Great Depression. The Sheriff's Office has been around for over 100 years. Has it ever been this bad?
Certainly not that I've seen. I was here as a deputy in the early 80s when they had financial problems then, and compared to that, this is much worse because this is structurally broken. So now you can't provide a resource to the community that serves it at all. And that's where we're getting to the point where it is just absolutely dangerous at the level that we're providing a service. So,
and this leads me to my question. I wonder, why would anyone, including you, mayors included, want to run for office and take on that office when you know it's tough?
Well, one of the things that I'm glad that I'm towards the end of my career, and I'm glad that I can be able to bring the experience that I have to this community and hopefully the stability that it needs. Because one of the problems that we've had so much at the Sheriff's Office in dealing with all the various issues is we've had a lot of flux in management and administrators. And I'm glad that I'm there to provide that stability.
Right. So we do need to find another revenue stream, that is. There's the revival of the federal timber money, also a public safety tax option. But let's face it, you guys are 0 and 14. Is the public, do you think, ready now to say, okay, we're going to give you some money. You need some money. We need to have public safety.
Well, I hope so. I'm very encouraged by the public outpouring that we've had of support. We see that routinely. And we've tried to get our information out there. We've tried to show our issues. And it simply is where we are. And people have to recognize that. And we've tried to remain transparent so people can find that out for themselves and ensure that we are at that level. And now I hope that we've demonstrated that need and we can move forward.
When could we possibly have something on a ballot that voters will vote on?
Well, the first opportunity is going to be here in May. And I hope that works. There's a lot of work to be done to make that even a remote possibility. So I'm encouraged, though, because I feel like it's moving that direction.
All right. Let's go to gun control, certainly in the national spotlight. Following the lead of Lane County Sheriff John Moeller, 3 more Oregon sheriffs just recently have expressed opposition to President Obama's plan for stricter gun control. They say that they will not enforce it if they feel it violates the Second Amendment rights. What's your take?
Well, my initial take is that law enforcement is exactly that. We're here to enforce the laws. We're not here to make the laws. And so having that as the difference right now, there isn't anything that's changing any of the issues that we're facing right now. And what we're going to do is we're going to enforce the laws as the lawmakers make them. And as always, all these tragedies always lead to a lot of examination of all these facts. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to base the Sheriff's Office response on what actually happens, as opposed to the speculation as to what's going to happen. And right now, nothing affects any of these issues, and that's exactly what we're doing. And we have other issues to focus on. But again, I'm glad that people are watching, and I'm glad that they're thinking about it. I'm glad they're thinking about their safety. And that's a big piece of law enforcement. And I want to be there, obviously, where we're supporters of the Constitution. We swear an oath to the Constitution of the United States, Constitution of the State of Oregon. And of course we're supporters, but we are law enforcement. We are absolutely law enforcers. We are not lawmakers.
And you're also here for the people. You're holding these wonderful public meetings. In fact, one of them is going to be tonight. I think you've done almost now 9. It started last year. I want to invite the public to ask you questions. You want to take them on, hear what their concerns are. He's going to be tonight, 6 to 8 p.m. at the Hilliard Community Center. Of course, Sheriff Tom Turner taking your questions and comments. Thanks again so much.
Again, thank you.